Whoops. Hey guys. Okay. So while I was live before, my husband was cooking dinner, and I just noticed that we've been using HelloFresh. And I don't know if you guys use HelloFresh, but we have. This is not sponsored, by the way. But while he was making dinner, he was following the instructions, and it said, look at this. I just want to ask you if you've ever heard of this, because I've never heard of this and I have cooked for years. And I absolutely love HelloFresh. They have amazing meals, but this one was 1,000,000,000% a fail. And I'm just wondering if anyone who cooks has ever heard this. So look at this. It says, so he was supposed to be making a cheesy prosciutto wrapped chicken, right? And it says, step 1, make sure to thoroughly salt your water. A palmful should do the trick. This may feel excessive, but the results will prove why this step is so important. Cooking pasta in salting water seasons the noodles from the inside out. Okay, a palmful of salt. When we ate the chicken and the noodles, it was so salty, we had to throw them away. So I have never heard this tip ever. I have cooked for years. I've never heard someone suggest a palm full of, let me just open the chat here, a palm full of salt. Have you ever heard of anyone suggesting a palm full of salt? I mean, Scarlett might want to do a palm full of salt because she loves salt, but like, I still feel like I have salt in my chest right now. I feel like I could just be salting myself for hours. I'm sitting here trying to wonder, like, a palmful of salt. I told my husband that when you make noodles, you do like a pinch of salt, a pinch, right? A pinch, a palmful. And I was like, there is no way the instructions say a palmful, but it literally says cooking a palmful should do the trick. So imagine you're sending this, I don't know, a palmful. It says this may feel excessive. It literally says this may feel excessive, but the results will prove why this step is so important. If you cup your palm, it's not a lot. So, okay. So do you think that my husband was taking that too literal? Because honestly, when I do it, it's a fistful of salt. When I cook, I typically just like go like this, and that's, but like, look at the, I just want to show you how salty this was. Look at the dish. Look at that. That's how much salt was in there. So if he's following the literal directions of doing a palmful, was he actually doing a palmful? Yeah, you think? I ended up having to toss the dinner because it was so salty. Yeah, I think I'm going to call their customer service because that was a miss, a massive miss. We've had a lot of really good stuff that we've done. Something else that we did, will they give you credit? I don't know. I made this for Thanksgiving. It's an apple crisp. so I did a lot of cooking. So no to the palmful. So we're all in an agreement that a palmful is too much. They do have good customer service. I'm really satisfied with HelloFresh. And honestly, we just did this. We made this choice to do these because I'm busy with work, and the recipes are so easy, and the food is really, really good. Okay, so Elizabeth says that she's an accomplished home chef, and she says that a large pot of boiling water for pasta for 8 people takes half to a tablespoon. As for HelloFresh, tried it for a week and never again because what am I making? We were making pasta for dinner. We have always been delivered on time. So they've always come on the right day. There's never been any issues with any of our orders. Thank you, Katie, for your super chat. So I'm like, okay, so they were never delivered on time. Ours always come on time. Maybe it's changed. I don't know. So the consensus is that HelloFresh, Todd, does not have the right directions about salting noodles.
Well,
I was just
my taste buds gave me that consensus.
right.
Even though I struggled through and I actually ate the whole meal, but I'm coming, buddy. Yeah, that.
I threw it away. I'm sorry.
I'm coming, bud. I got your 2 dinos.
I don't know what is going on, you guys. So I'm gonna grab my thing and I'm trying to have a good night, a good stream for this night. A happy stream for you guys.
Hi, can you just blow me a kiss from there?
Yes. Love you, buddy. Okay. So, a salt, a tablespoon, or whatever you call it. What is it? A palmful of salt is too much salt. We love HelloFresh. It's about the same cost, it's cheaper than to go out. Ours is always delivered on time. So the recipes of HelloFresh are really easy to follow. So I'm just gonna put my phone on a stand and I'll show you. I have something on my eyebrow. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Then I won't have to move everything so I can show you guys. Okay, so the HelloFresh stuff is super easy to use. So you get a recipe card like this, right? And it has everything listed out here. And then it has the directions. And usually all the directions are super easy to follow. And this takes 50 minutes total. And it tells you how many calories are in it. We just had this one. This one was really good. Rosemary demi-glazed pork chops. Super good. And we did all of our Thanksgiving. No, I'm not sponsored at all. So no, this is literally just me talking about it. I just wanted to share because I was I've been into cooking lately, but I've never heard about the salt thing. And I was well, maybe people on my channel will know. And I haven't done a lot of content. Tomorrow will be back to regularly scheduled content. And we will get back to the Duggars and Sister Wives and all of that, which I'm really excited for. I know you guys like that. My live chat keeps disappearing. So yeah. Yeah, we always get ours like the day of or the day early. Okay. So thank you, Shouty. Love you too. The only thing we made all of our Thanksgiving stuff from HelloFresh. My only complaint with the HelloFresh Thanksgiving was Brussels sprouts for the vegetable. I'm not a huge Brussels sprouts fan, but I mean, they're fine, but I feel like for Thanksgiving, if they're gonna do a traditional Thanksgiving, like having Brussels sprouts be the main veggie and the only veggie seems like a odd choice because one, Brussels sprouts are not super enjoyable for a lot of people, and they were like glazed in some sort of maple syrup, and they had some sort of weird consistency. So that my biggest gripe about the turkey dinner we did with HelloFresh was the Brussels sprouts, but literally everything else was amazing. The apple crisp, I have never made an apple crisp in my life. It was great. And I love to cook, so cooking is fun. And the stuffing was really, really good. You love Brussels sprouts. I just was not digging them. Some people really love them. I would have preferred like a more traditional one. So tonight's meal actually got tossed in the trash because HelloFresh told us to put a palm full of salt in the pan. And the noodles were so salty that I literally had to throw them away. Everything was so salty, all I could taste was salt. I like them, but it's an odd choice. Let's blame Todd. No, Todd did, Todd did a good job. He ate everything. All your beautiful salt. Yes. Okay. So a lot of people were sending me messages about Jessa Duggar and basically saying that she did a fall festival video and that Jed Duggar might be potentially courting. And I was like, well, that's interesting because she apparently referred to somebody as a darling, asking Jed if like he was going to have his darling there. So I was like, no glazed yams, nothing. It was very bizarre. Okay. I'm gonna get some water and then I'm gonna sit down. And then okay. So Jessa Duggar and Darling, do you think that Jed has a girlfriend? I know. Todd gets really good husband points for that. Deborah, thank you so much for becoming a member. I so appreciate that. I am just looking forward to like going back to normal content. I just finished watching Seduced on what do you call it? Stars, which was a series about Nexium and Keith Raniere. So I really enjoyed that. It was like sort of going inside like how they brainwashed people. That was like fascinating. He was actually just sentenced, I think, to like 120 years in prison. So that's awesome. Chris, thank you for the super chat. And I also, you watched Trial 4. So I watched Seduced this weekend, and then I finished something else. What else did I finish? Oh my goodness. My cat wants to go outside. My husband and I went on a walk yesterday too, which was really nice. We took the dogs out, and we got cleaning done. Literally Thursday though, I've never cooked a Thanksgiving meal. So we did everything, and we had no one here, so it was just me and my husband and my son. And it was so cute because my son was like, "Mommy, the food smells delicious." And he never says something like that. Did I like it better than The Vow? Was The Vow on, I feel like it was different. Like The Vow was about the people that were involved and sort of how they exposed it. And this was actually about India, Catherine Oxenberg's daughter, India. And she explained like her participation in all of it and how she was like effectively like taken away from her family, and talked about some of the things that she went through being a part of it, how they kind of like brainwashed her, and all of the like the systemic ways of control, which I feel like The Vow didn't really go into. With The Vow, we only saw like people that were higher up that were like trying to expose them. Whereas I felt like Seduced really understood things from a level of the people that were like more underneath and how they were like coerced into doing things. It was interesting to hear her daughter's, Catherine Oxenberg's daughter, I just forgot her name. She, it was interesting to hear her perspective, India. It was interesting to hear India's perspective, because what I feel like was not a part of The Vow was understanding like how someone could get into something like this, how easily that if somebody has like all of the right intentions and all of the right interests and like just wants to do a difference, like how easily they can get suckered into something like that. And then how easy it is when somebody's feeling vulnerable for them to be like manipulated. And it was interesting because India was right. Hi, Deborah. India was right underneath of Allison Mack. So it was like the first time, I feel like they didn't really spend a lot of time talking about Allison Mack in The Vow. I feel like with the Allison Mack stuff, they really were like almost painting her like a victim of Keith Raniere. But when you hear India's perspective with Allison, it's like not like that at all. Like Allison is like not a good person if you hear from India's perspective about like what Allison did to her. So I think like it depends on who in the organization is telling the story, like the people at the top. And it also made me start to realize, like, how did Mark Vicente and Sarah, who literally enrolled all of these people and were a part of these things, how did they get let off the hook in all of this? You know what I mean? Like, how are the people at the very top that just because did they cooperate? Is that how they didn't get a part of it? Like, how did Sarah avoid any sort of culpability for what she did? Same with Vincent, like, or Mark. And apparently India was going to be charged, and then they had to, she was considered a co-conspirator, and then she cooperated, and so then she didn't get any charges. I can't see the chat anymore. Yeah, it was really interesting to hear Catherine's sort of story about how she had to help India leave. And then like India was talking about how like the process of being like deprogrammed, which, whoa, that's eye-opening. If you ever want to understand like how people leave cults, like understanding how she had to be deprogrammed is like so intense. But yeah. So that's all I was thinking about. So I watched Seduced, and then I watched, yeah. So tomorrow we'll get back to regular content, hopefully. I'm still been working a lot on this other stuff. And then, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys for being patient with me, and just know that we will get back to normal stuff. And I am going. Is the chat freezing for people? I'm not seeing. You love my channel. Well, I love you, Deborah. Thank you. I just want to get to our happy space again. That's all. So we'll do, oh, and then Olivia Plath. This was another interesting thing. So Olivia Plath shared a photo on her Instagram about Chick-fil-A, right? And I thought this was actually super interesting because she was talking about how she comes from a world of extremes. And she was saying, like, she doesn't understand the outrage about Chick-fil-A because people were, like, upset with her because she was trying to get, like, tagged by them. And she said, like, she really just, like, likes their French fries and their shakes. And she didn't really understand the controversy that surrounded Chick-fil-A. And so she was asking her followers, like, can people go to the extreme on both ends? And can they, like, boycott something because they don't agree with something, or, you know, kind of like, well, some people won't. She kind of likened it to this, like, Kim and Barry Plath don't want them to shop at Target because of their inclusiveness. And then she's saying people are boycotting Chick-fil-A because they are against, they've donated to organizations that are anti-LGBTQ+. And she wanted to know, like, whether or not you can be on both extremes. And I thought it was actually an interesting dialogue because people sent her a lot of messages and then she posted them on her Instagram stories. And it seemed pretty split. Like, people were either like, yes, I think you can be on the extreme, or no. And then I started thinking, like, every company has things that you probably don't agree with. So do you base your decision on a company and supporting a company on one topic? Or do you say, well, I like all the things that this company does except this one thing, so I'll overlook that one topic? I think that was kind of the question. Like, I don't love, for instance, things that Walmart does, but I still shop at Walmart. I have not ever eaten at Chick-fil-A, though, because of everything related to their history with the LGBTQ+. I've never, we just got them here a few years ago in Minnesota. I've never eaten there. I've never tried anything there. I've heard they have really good food, but I've literally never gone there specifically because of what I've heard about their support of anti-LGBTQ stuff. And then I remember in 2012, there was like that, all the people went to go eat there in defiance of same-sex marriage. So to me, it's more just like, there's so many other places you could eat, so why would I eat there? I don't really think of it as a boycott because I've never really had it before. I don't know what your thoughts are. I understand people get really upset when they see it, and obviously I'm LGBTQ+, so, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'd rather avoid certain companies like Hobby Lobby or Chick-fil-A, but I wouldn't scream at people, never go there. Just like, hey, that is what they've supported in the past, and then let them decide. Yeah. So Hobby Lobby, I have a true story. Like, I never was into Hobby Lobby, and then we moved out here, and there's a Hobby Lobby out here, and I initially went there and I was like, oh, this stuff is so cute. And then I realized, like, things about their policies for women and stuff, and like, they don't allow, there was that whole controversy about people that work there cannot get their birth control covered. And I'm like, that's crazy to me. Like, how does an employer decide that you can't have you can't have birth control to go to work, or for like a choice? Obviously, I think I think they're owned by a Catholic company. So the owners or something, I don't think believe in that. But I just think, like, part of me is like, well, you can choose who you work for, but then other places are like, maybe that's the only place they can get a job at. So I don't know, but we just don't shop at Hobby Lobby anymore. After I found that out, I was like, I can just go to Michael's, you know, like I'll just go to Michael's. It's not that big of a deal. Hobby Lobby, like I will say that we do have some stuff from Hobby Lobby, and I will say some of the stuff there, they have more than Michael's. They have a lot more stuff to decorate your house with, but there's plenty of other places that you can get stuff to decorate your house with where you're not, you know, I feel like that's kind of the choice of a capitalist society. You can choose who you support and who you don't support. You can decide, like, I like what this person does or I don't like what this person does. It's very popular, and I live in the South, and they have similar views to the South a lot. Home Goods and Marshalls is good. I order a lot of stuff off Wayfair, I'm not gonna lie. A lot. I like Wayfair or Amazon. But see, I still even struggle with Amazon. There are issues I have with the way that Amazon treats their workers with, you know, the long hours and not getting paid as much. I feel like every company right now has something where you're like, I could not support them. So what I think I liked about the conversation that Olivia brought up is like, how do you make that choice as a consumer? The Wayfair controversy, yeah, that was totally fake. Okay, so Linda says that she boycotts Michael Jackson and R. Kelly's music, and that's interesting. I do too. I don't listen to R. Kelly at all anymore, and I also don't listen to Michael Jackson anymore. I don't listen to Chris Brown either. I feel like there's some people that have done things where I'm like, that's not great, you know, like, but there's other things I just won't excuse. And R. Kelly is just no, not at all. I know. It really stinks because Michael Jackson for me is like music from my childhood. Thriller is like, I feel like Thriller is one of those albums that was like the soundtrack for my grade school, you know? So it's hard not to hear that music and not like bop around with it. And then I'm just like, no. After, I know that there was some controversy with Leaving Neverland, but there was too much in there that even if only a fraction of it was true or even half of it was true, that was enough for me. Like, no. I know. It's kind of like The Cosby Show. Like, I don't think I could watch The Cosby Show anymore, you guys. And I loved The Cosby Show. But I honestly don't think I could enjoy The Cosby Show anymore. And that's really too bad because that show was amazing. Like, that was one of my favorite shows growing up. Well, the Elmo guy just did the voice, and there's a new Elmo guy, so you can still support Elmo because it has a new guy, right? I know, Bill Cosby, he's a monster, in my opinion. Okay, so that's sort of the question is like, how does a consumer decide? Oh my gosh, Abigail, don't tell me that. Abigail said I'm not even gonna read what Abigail said. Okay, so some things can ruin things for people. I understand that. So what I like about consumerism and capitalism is that, and a free marketplace along with free speech, is that every person can decide what they support and what they don't support. And you don't have to support something and it's not a big deal. You can support something and it's not a big deal. I always find it interesting when somebody, like, so say you are someone who does eat Chick-fil-A. Are you then supporting them and their beliefs by eating there? So can you as a consumer then eat there if people say that you're wrong because they support these things? I feel like this is a topic that gets so messy. You're supporting the local workers. You're supporting them, but not necessarily their beliefs, says Scarlett. Okay. These are interesting. I saw that thing on Olivia's on her Instagram, and I was like, this is an interesting topic. I don't shame people that eat there. I also don't I understand that people have a right to believe whatever they want to believe. Oh, I don't want to diagnose. Leticia says that he had something, but I don't want to diagnose him because I don't want to speculate on anything about that because he is no longer here. Okay. And that's the other question. Like, for instance, Walmart. We live in a sort of a rural area, and the Walmart here is a large employer for a lot of families that live here. And so by shopping at Walmart, I'm also helping the local workers that live and work in this community that have their jobs there. So you're supporting the corporation, but then you're also like supporting that these people have jobs right now, which I feel like is so important. Oh, I know. I'm so excited. Except I still have this like hair right here that's kind of like this. I have watched Food Inc., but I always wonder about the bias with that. It's so... Walmart does hurt the local farmers, but then Walmart, like, there's, you know, I feel like... So Abigail says that she's trying to buy from small businesses such as shops on Etsy and trying to support plastic-free alternatives. So our struggle here is that where we live, there's not a lot of places to get groceries. So you can go to Target, but we don't have a super Target near us, or you can go to like Walmart, which has a full grocery store. And the groceries are less expensive than the other grocery stores that are in town that are like more marked up and like higher in price. So from a consumer perspective, like, and from especially in a market today where people are out of work, can you shame someone? I don't think you can, that chooses to shop at a place like Walmart. I shop there because it's like the only alternative in the area for affordable groceries. There's like every single topic could have controversy. My husband has an Etsy shop. You should check it out. Drop your link, Todd. We do not have an Aldi near us. It's like 25 minutes from us, probably. And yeah, I mean, we were only, I don't know. I don't even know. I know there's a lot of restaurants that have been closing here. Aldi is like a restaurant that, or Aldi's like a grocery store that their whole model is completely different. They don't sell a lot of stuff. They like have a lower inventory of quantity of products. And they don't have a lot of like brand names, but like they sell products at a lower price because of the way that it's shelved and stocked. And I don't necessarily understand, they don't have as many options for a variety of things. So if you want to get like one kind of cereal, they'll have like one brand, but they won't have like, if you like Captain Crunch or something, it'll be like Puffs or something generic, right? And they won't have as much variety about specific things, but the way that they stock things, it's less expensive. But the produce I've had trouble with at Aldi. I've had problems with moldy produce, so I don't usually get produce there. Todd has ornaments for sale, and he might do some more paintings. He's thinking about doing some prints. They have really good cheese. They have really good pizzas there. Really good pizzas. Like the kinds that you can come, like take and bake kinds. They have really good pizzas there. But we don't have an Aldi near us, so. He does have ornaments. The ingredients are good. Like, I think they have really good cheeses. I'm not impressed with their meat section at all. I don't think their meat or produce is good at all. Aldi. That's my opinion. I think they have good bread, really good bread. You can get dairy for a lot less expensive. You can get salad for a lot less expensive. You have to be really careful with the produce because a lot of it will spoil very quickly. And I think they have cheese that's really good. If you're not picky about brands, like if you're a shopper that goes to the grocery store and needs to have like your brand names like Lay's potato chips or, Doritos or whatever junk food, you're not going to find that at Aldi. They don't have brands, really. And if they do, they might be there one week and not the next week. So AR says that they live in the middle of nowhere and they have to go to Fred Meyer. So if you're not picky about things, I think Aldi's fine. But yeah, you can get like flour, milk, butter for way cheaper. And I don't think you need to have brand name butter or brand name like milk. I feel like milk is all from cows and, and they even have they also, okay, so they don't have the best organic section. So if you're like want organics and stuff, they don't really have a lot of that. And they do have some. I will say their salad stuff is a lot cheaper, but I feel like their salad, like their pre-made salads, they spoil really fast. And they have really cheap canned goods. We don't eat a lot of canned goods. They have consistent gluten-free items, like nuts. If you like want almonds or that kind of stuff, you can get that pretty cheap there. Menards is like literally our favorite store. We have a Menards by us. If you're not from here, you should get a Menards. Menards is like food and stuff from, what do you call it? Menards is like food and stuff. Menards is fun. You can get a tub of popcorn at Menards, and then you can also get a drill and stuff to go hunting. I mean, and appliances and pet supplies. And you can also get something for the garden, and you can get toys. Like literally, that place has everything. Yeah. Menards is really random. They have like toys in the middle of the aisle that don't have a place. It's mostly like a Home Depot, but it's way cheaper. They have really good supply, like stuff for organizing. Yeah, Abigail says that with her autism, stores without brands are tricky. And that's why I was saying, like, if you are the type of person, so Abigail's comment said this is the problem with Aldi. And Lidl for me is that because of my autism, things like spaghetti hoops and ketchup have to be Heinz, and I have to have one brand of juice, so stores without brands are tricky. And so that was always our trouble with our son with Aldi. He also is on the spectrum, and he's very particular about certain things. So, like, they don't have Cheetos there, and he doesn't eat, like, if it's not a Cheeto, he doesn't eat it. And they sometimes have M&Ms, but if it's not M&Ms, like, he won't eat them. They do have gluten-free stuff for sure. All right. So now that we've talked about the no salt, I want you guys to marinate on the issue about the Chick-fil-A and discussions about supporting different companies. This, I feel like, is a good dialogue, and you guys can have that in the comments below. Before you go, give this video a thumbs up. We are going to be back to normal content. I'm truly, truly, truly done. I'm seriously done. I'm not responding to anything more at this point. And we are going to just keep going, and I'm going to just do my best to keep my head up and keep your heads up and not disappoint you guys and move forward. Thanks, guys, and thanks for your super chats.